Come on, Ridge. Don't lose it on me now, pal.
No, I'm not losing it, Jonathan.
Look, I know things don't look good right now, but the prosecution's up at bat. We'll get our turn at the jury.
I keep thinking of those men and women out there listening to that so-called evidence.
From the state's point of view, we'll make them see it our way.
Yeah, but we better. Or I'm going to prison. My fingerprints on the gun? Grant saying I pulled the trigger?
We have our theory, Ridge.
Gunshot residue on my hands. How the hell did that get there?
Hunter's working on that.
I wonder if he's found anything by now.
Let's hope so.
And in the meantime?
Keep it together, Ridge.
You're right.
Now hang in there.
Yes?
It's Claudia.
Claudia, come in.
You are in a good mood.
I have reason to be.
Does it have anything to do with the gentleman who just left?
As a matter of fact, it does.
And who was the mystery man?
A jeweler.
A jeweler?
Yes, one of the finest on the West Coast. Came to drop off a little something. Want to see?
Huh, what do you think? Of course I do.
What do you think?
Oh my God, that is beautiful.
I've been looking for something. Distinctive, elegant.
Stunning.
Yeah, that too. It came up at auction, so I jumped on it.
It's for Taylor.
Yes.
An engagement ring?
That's the idea.
Wow. She is one lucky woman.
I'm a lucky man.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Don't you think that this might be, a little premature? Proposing to Taylor?
Well, it would be, but I'm not planning on giving it to her right away.
Then why buy it?
Because it's going to happen. Taylor and I will have a life together. It's just a matter of time.
And what about Ridge?
Look, Ridge doesn't have time for Taylor. He never has. And he's fighting for his life right now. And he's gonna win. No one wants that more than I do. But as far as he and Taylor go, it's history.
And you're sure about that?
Yes. And just look at the way he leads his life.
Daring, romantic, adventurous.
Traumatic, unstable, unpredictable. You know, living with my brother is like riding a giant roller coaster. Sure, it's a rush, but it can also burn you out.
And you think Taylor is burnt out?
I think Taylor's ready for a change, and I'm gonna be there for her.
Teresa, you wanted to see me?
Yes, Brad. You got a minute?
Sure. What's up?
You did very well yesterday.
Well, you did well. All I did was sit on the stand and answer your questions. You made me look good.
Well, we seem to be holding our own.
And then some.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Ridge Forrester's shoes, that's for sure.
So who you calling next?
2 witnesses, and that should lock it up.
And the next contestants are?
Thorne Forrester and the victim himself, Grant Chambers.
You're calling Ridge's own brother to the stand?
That's right.
Well, why? Teresa, what do you possibly expect to get out of that?
You're amazing, you know that?
Amazing.
Showing up just when I need you the most.
I'm always here for you. Don't you ever forget that.
So what do you think? This trial's a joke, isn't it?
Well, that prosecutor, Teresa Emerson, she's really very sharp.
Yeah, building quite a case against me.
You have an excellent attorney yourself.
Jonathan's battling away. He's doing what he can.
And he'll stop at nothing until he proves that you're innocent.
That's just it. What if there's nothing more he can do?
Reg, I know this is difficult. I know it feels like the entire world is against you.
Not the entire world, not the people that matter the most.
Oh, look, just promise me you're not going to give up. Have faith in Jonathan and the system.
Doc, I'm not going to throw in the towel. Not by a long shot.
You know, I'm sitting there in the back of that courtroom and I'm listening to everything that's being said, and it's all I can do to keep from yelling, he's innocent. He didn't do it.
Sometimes when those lawyers are going at each other, this whole thing seems like a surreal circus to me. I have to admit, my mind wanders.
Where does it go?
You really want to know? Into your arms, where it's just the two of us together. This whole bizarre incident is behind us. Life is good. We're happy the way we were before. I know it sounds like a dream, but I'm not going to let go of it, Doc. I can't. It's the light at the end of the tunnel for me. It's the one thing that keeps me from losing it altogether. You know why? Because it is going to happen. It's going to happen. We'll get there. You'll see.
You really love Taylor.
Yes, I do. Look, Claudia, why don't we talk about something else?
It's okay, Thorne.
Are you sure?
You know how I feel about you. And I can't say that's changed. I don't know if it ever will.
Oh, Claudia, you've been a great friend.
You know, it's a beautiful ring.
You know, someday, someone who really deserves you is going to ask you to marry him.
You know, I still think about that night a few months ago when we had that big dinner with the whole family.
Yeah, and Ridge coming on too strong with Taylor at the table.
Oh, you were so upset. And you had had too much to drink.
And we found ourselves up here in this very room.
In each other's arms and kissing and...
That was a mistake, Claudia.
Yeah. Yeah, you were reacting to what you had seen outside your window. Taylor and Ridge at the pool.
Yeah, he was treating her like a piece of meat.
still makes you angry.
It's the way he always treats his woman. Always has, and he always will.
But you would treat her differently.
Yes. I would treat her with respect and with devotion, because that's what she deserves. Ridge doesn't love her. Not really. Big Brother had his chance, and he blew it, and now it's my turn. I will never let Ridge put Taylor through that again, because I'm not going to allow it.
Who is it?
It's Jonathan at the courthouse. This must be important. Look, thanks for listening.
What are friends for?
I'll see you later.
Jones, what are you doing here? What is it with you and this evidence table? You can't seem to stay away from it. Why aren't you at the lab?
I'm working on something.
You're supposed to be working on the gunshot residue. That's your #1 priority.
I don't need my priorities defined, Counselor.
Look, we have to make that jury believe that Ridge did not pull that trigger.
We will.
Yes, because Chambers pulled the trigger on himself. But what about the gunshot residue on his hands? How the hell did it get there?
Good question. But we may have an even bigger problem.
What?
This scheme for Chambers to shoot himself and then finger Ridge. I'm having second thoughts.
How else did Chambers get shot?
Well, if we look at the evidence a little more closely now.
Oh, I've looked at it 100 times. Look, don't tell me you're questioning our defense. It's a little late for that, don't you think? Look, we've got a good case. Chambers took a bullet to frame Ridge, and we're damn well gonna prove it.
Look, I'm not saying he didn't shoot himself.
Well, what are you saying?
Something here doesn't add up, that's all.
Can you be more specific?
Not right now.
Listen, Ridge Forrester's butt is on the line here.
I am well aware of that.
Well, then let's pull together, find out how that GSR got into his hands, make that jury believe without a shadow of a doubt that our client is innocent. We can do it, Hunter. I can win this case. Just get me some information I can use.
I can't believe that you're calling Thorne Forrester to the stand.
He's next on my list.
Why?
Come on, Brad. You've got to have some idea.
Okay. Everybody knows that he and his brother aren't exactly close at the moment.
That's putting it mildly.
And you plan to use that.
We have all the hard evidence we need. It's time to start chipping away at his character.
Make the jury see him in a different light.
If I can get Thorne, his own brother, to open up, admit Ridge's behavior is volatile, even violent at times, we're in. We're in.
I am not trying to make you feel guilty.
I know that, Ridge.
The thought of going to prison and losing you, it just can't happen.
Don't even start thinking like that.
I don't want to, but the reality of it seems to be staring me in the face now, doesn't it?
Ridge, you're going to beat this. You just said it yourself. And I'm going to be there for you every step of the way.
I believe you.
You should believe me because it's true.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
I was just wondering if you would mind
What?
If I did this,
Reg,
we're not through, Doc.
yes, we are.
I don't think so.
Do you know what time it is?
I don't care what time it is. You're here with me, that's all that matters to me.
We have to get back to the courtroom. They're about to start back up again.
Do you have any idea at all, what my life has been like recently?
I know it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. It's been overwhelming.
That's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
You. You're so beautiful. You're so incredibly beautiful.
Rich, we can't.
Yes. We can.
We have so much to talk about. We have so much to work out.
Day and night, I lie in that hotel room. I can only do one thing. I think about you. I think about us alone. Alone with nothing but the pounding of our hearts, beating as one. I need you, Taylor. I want you.
You're still not convinced, are you, Brad?
Well, I see where you're headed. Get Thorne up on the stand, make him admit that his brother's a hothead.
Score some big points with the jury?
But still, you gotta admit it's a hell of a risky move.
We're painting the psychological makeup of the shooter.
Well, what if Thorne keeps his mouth shut? Doesn't implicate his brother at all?
We won't give him that option.
You're that confident?
You know as well as I do what's going on between those two.
Dr. Taylor Hayes.
They're in love with the same woman. Passions are high. All I need is the right emotional cue. A chance to push Thorne's buttons just enough to make him crack. Admit the truth about Ridge.
You really think that he'll betray his own brother?
If I have anything to do with it, he will.
Thorne, you're late. Where have you been?
Something came up.
Look, it's important. We've got to talk. Thorne, are you even listening to me? The prosecution is calling you in as a character witness.
Prosecution?
That's right.
Why are they doing this, Jonathan?
It's part of their strategy.
But I'm Ridge's brother. It doesn't make any sense.
They're hoping you'll slip up, say something damning, help put him away. I don't have to tell you, this is make or break testimony. You've got to be extremely careful on that stand. Watch every word you say. Your brother's future may very well depend on it. I'll see you in court.
I'm not going to lose you, Taylor. I'm not going to let you get away.